Okay. Thanks for clicking on this video today. This is Coach UV, and you're rocking with the Unique Trading Group, where strategy meets mindset and discipline turns into income. I hope you guys are ready, all right? This is the episode 10 of Monday Madness. Episode 10 of Monday Madness, a very special episode, all right? And so today, what we're going to be talking about is some Trump and tariff news, how it's affecting the markets, and how it's being read. Also, we're going to recap SPY and the broader markets, and we're going to keep it short and sweet with maybe a little recap towards the end, but stick around because this will be a very important video. Also, big money has moved, a very, very rare signal. A rare signal just flashed, and nobody's talking about it. But guess what? You guys are going to be prepared because you're rocking with Coach UV with the Unique Trading Group. And real quickly, before we move on, because I know what you came here for, I want to let you know, if you're busy, you're new, a little skeptical about trading stocks, or your first time watching as a beginner, immediate, or even advanced, if you say so yourself, I am exactly who you need. And we help people just like you. Here at the Unique Trading Group, we help people recognize market structure and price action. We focus on the process over the profits, okay? I know you heard about getting rich before. I know you heard all the fluff and all the talk, all right? But it's not about getting rich in the stock market. It's about risk to reward, right? Is your reward bigger than your risk? And can you stick to your trading plan? You need an edge and a trading plan in order to make trading successful and consistent. This is what it takes, the process over profits. And so if you're burnt out with your current trading strategy, if you can't find your footing, your foundation, and or consistency in the market, all right, do me a favor, hit that link above to the right there. Take that free trading course, all right? It doesn't cost you anything. Stop the video, go watch it, come back and watch this video because you don't want to miss this Monday episode 10. But go take that free trading course, all right, and let me show you how to turn discipline into income. All right, and we'll be right back after this commercial break to enjoy the rest of the show. All right.
President Trump says he's reached a trade deal with Vietnam following weeks of intense diplomacy between the two nations. So, Kaylee, is this the beginning of a torrent of deal announcements coming out of the administration?
Well, that's what the administration has suggested, Matt. When I spoke with the Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick last week, he said that they're looking at closing deals with about 10 trading partners by the July 9th deadline that the president has imposed and, of course, said yesterday is not looking to extend. Vietnam, though, would be just the third deal we have seen out of this White House, keeping in mind that there were already deals struck with the UK and then, of course, one formalized last week with China. As for what the details of this particular agreement with Vietnam are, not clear at this time. The president on Truth Social said details will follow. We'll have to wait and see what those details are. But keep in mind that initially, when he announced on what he dubbed as Liberation Day, what the reciprocal tariff rate on Vietnam would be, it was incredibly high, 46%. And the expectation is that whatever agreement will be struck will have a tariff rate set lower than that.
And we did just get another Truth Social post from the president. He writes that the terms are that Vietnam will pay the United States a 20% tariff on any and all goods sent into the U.S., a 40% tariff on any transshipping, and in return, Vietnam will do something they have never done before. These are the president's words: give the United States of America total access to their markets for trade. So there are just some of the details there.
Now, as you can see,
why is Amazon paying me
these expected talking points, all right, expected talking points, and we have Trump and the tariff back and forth, aka, all right, we are at the whim of the information that's being released day to day, all right, but the market remains resilient, all right. And just a couple of days ago, just a day or so ago, I dropped a video called Who Gets Wrecked and Who Gets Rich, and in that video I detailed some very detailed information about what's going on around the Trump tariffs and what's happening and what's going on with certain stocks that's going to be affected with that big beautiful bill. But no matter your color, no matter your creed, no matter how old you are, what your age is rather, all right, trading is possible. Making money is possible from this market, all right? It's very, very possible. It's for the people who desire, who see that truth. And I hope that something reaches you as you watch. And we're going to get into some more commentary from a young kid spoken by itself.
All right, I'm glad because people have been asking for options, and we're going to do an options show next week. We're working on something special. But this will be a good intro for that. So can you, I was going to explain it, but I'd rather you. Can you just explain for that, most people aren't too familiar with options. Can you just explain like what options are as they pertain to like just investing in regular stocks?
Sure. So as far as the main, key differences between stocks and options are this. So as far as stocks, we know you actually own a share in the company. You actually own stock in the company, and like I said, you own share in it. And the thing is, with stocks, you can hold them forever, and you can pretty much pass them down. And the main difference between those and options is, options you can't hold it, and you don't actually own the stock. You merely own the option in order to buy the stock. And when we're owning options, we have these things called contracts. Now, one contract is equal to 100 shares of stock. And also with this options as well, it's temporary. Unlike stocks, options are temporary. Now I know the max amount you can hold an option is I think about 2 years, because there are different types of trading. So you can hold options for a long time. You can do long-term trading with options. I've actually done that personally myself just recently today, where I did a long-term contract with Tesla, and I got it back.
I saw you post that, man.
Yeah, me and my mom, we saw Tesla, and we got in about 300, and then we made $78,000 off that trade, because Tesla, it went crazy today, but I don't know why it fell off, but luckily we was able to get out before it dipped down.
So don't let that go over your head.
Please, that was really modest, man. That's a yearly salary right there.
All right, so
let's talk.
Hold on, real quick, one more time. How old are you?
13.
So I first met my guy when we was speaking with ET. Shout out to Marquel, because Marquel was solid enough to put me on the platform before anyone knew me, just like y'all before, so y'all helped me pop. So I met him there, and I was like, yo, this kid knows his stuff. And I didn't know any of this when I was a kid, right? So run that number again past what you hit. I just want the people to hear it.
$78,000.
So the reason why I wanted him on is to show, regardless of age, this is possible. We're the only culture that this has been hidden from. He's young, right? Mm-hmm. So if he can do it, you can do it too. But no, I'm gonna let.
All right, and that was a commentary coming from a young teenager himself. Now, before we get over to the charts, all right, I want to read you guys some things, all right, that I've prepared for you, okay? All right, the market breakout and the bull run, all right? So this is a very rare signal, all right? So, ladies and gentlemen, all right, today we are witnessing a rare signal and significant signal in the market, okay? All right, the market breadth has shown a breakout for the S&P, the SPX, all right, with projections indicating a rise to 660 and 670 range, all right. This is accompanied by a golden cross, a bullish indicator that suggests a potential bull run, all right. Historically, when such conditions align, we often see substantial market gains, all right. So we're going to dive into some of the details and some of the historic data to understand the potential impact of this signal, all right. So got a golden cross, all right, the market breadth and the breakout, all right, we're signaling a strong underlying momentum, all right, historical context and data, all right, so mid-year bull runs, all right, I dropped a mid-year bull rally video a week or so ago, all right, and it's detailed, and you can check that video out. Just join the link below, subscribe to the channel, and you can find it in my playlist, all right, for live market updates. But historically, when market breadth and golden cross signals align around the mid-year, which is June, July, right, the 6th month, okay, The S&P has experienced significant bull runs, all right? So on average, these runs have resulted in gains of 20% to 30%. So let's look at some of the historical examples, all right? Hope you guys are enjoying the video so far. If so, hit that like button, all right? We're a family. We're in this together. And I give you these valuable videos week after week so you guys can stay up to date, all right? So hit the like button if it's valuable to you, and also hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. That way you're informed when I drop valuable videos just like this one. All right, guys. All right. So back to the commentary. All right. Now, back in 2013, the mid-year rally. All right. Like I said, in 2013, a similar alignment occurred. All right. That 20 and 25% threshold, 20 and 30% here. All right. Leading to a 25% increase back in 2013. All right. The two increased in the S&P 500 over the following month. So that increase happened within the following months. All right. 2009 recovery. Following the financial crisis, the market saw a golden cross and breath breakout in a mid-2009, all right, resulting in a 30% gain year over year, all right, by the year end. 1995 surge, all right. Another notable instance was back in 95, where the market experienced a 22% rise after these signals aligned, all right. So the statistical analysis, the average gain, historical data indicates on average gain of approximately 25% during such bull runs, all right. The duration, these bull runs typically last between 6 to 12 months, providing an ample opportunity for investors to capitalize on this upward trend, all right. So here's my conclusion, all right. I'll take this with a grain of salt, all right. We are at the midway year, very significant. I always talk about 0, 50, and 100, all right. There's 3 zones, all right. 0, 50, and 100. You can use that on a candlestick time frame. You could think about the midway of the week, like I do my halftime shows on Wednesday, the midway update for the week or the year, right? It's 12 months in a year. June makes the 6th. So when June ends, we end a biannually a 6-month candle close. So that's a phenomenon. You get a 6 months candle. So if that new SPY 6-month candle opens higher than the previous one, then we can get a parabolic move, all right? The rally has been sustained with market breadth. It's all about market breadth, all right? And so my conclusion to you, all right, the current market conditions present a compelling opportunity for investors, all right, with the S&P 500 poised, all right, poised for a potential breakout, all right, poised for a potential breakout. And what you want to realize is that 660 and 670 is a realistic target, all right? We already hit 620 and 625, all right? We're trying to get 635 and 640. We've seen very powerful moves. We could get that on some sort of data, all right? Keep that in mind, all right? So, supported by a golden cross and a strong market breadth, all right, the stage is set for a significant bull run, and you heard it first with Coach UV, all right? Historical data reinforces this potential, all right? Substantial gains are right in the front of us, all right? Making this a moment to watch very, very closely, okay? So as we navigate this exciting period, is it essential that you stay informed and consider the potential for growth, all right? So, all right, I want to say thank you for your attention for this little curriculum like I like to do before we get to the charts, all right? And so we're going to get back on to the meat of the video, but I want you to remember to always wait for pullbacks. If you're not already in, all right, always wait for pullbacks at either your 9, your 8, or your 21, the 50-day, the 200-day, whatever you like to use. But you need to define your entry, your exit, and your risk before every trade. So always wait for a pullback, more preferably the higher time frames if you're long-term or swinging, and the smaller if you're day trading, all right? Because trading is about the process and not the profits, okay? And remember, I am not a financial advisor. I'm only a coach and/or a mentor, all right? A coach and/or a mentor, all right? So I'm not responsible for any losses you may occur, okay? Remember that any of the results that I post from other students and/or my trades varies to us, all right? Doesn't mean it is going to transfer over to you. Just keep that in mind. So now that we're here on SPY, I want you to hear me closely, okay? I want you to pay attention. Take this walk with me, all right? Take this walk with me, all right? A couple of videos ago, I spoke about how we were reaching all-time highs and that rookies would want to chase and that we wanted to wait for a pullback. All right. Could that pullback be what we got today? As what you see in front of you? It could be. It could be what you see in front of you. All right. But I said that we could get a pullback to certain numbers. All right. And so that's what we got today. This could be a possible inverse head and shoulders. I am on a 1 hour time frame. We are below 620. So if we're below 620, 620 is a wall, right? It's a wall of resistance, meaning price can't get past it. And so we can teeter between 610, 620, and 610. These are your 0, 50, 100% marks, all right? These are the zones you want to watch out for, all right? 610, 615, and 620. We have to wait for tomorrow to see what happens, okay? We have to wait for tomorrow to see what happens, all right? Right now we have a little bit of close below, okay? And so that's what we're looking for. But as long as that market hold and the structure holds, all right, 617 is really holding SPY up right now, right? 617 is really holding SPY up. So what I want to do real quickly is I want to show you the economic data that's going to be coming up, all right, on Forex Factory, so that you guys are informed, all right, on this week's data, because you know that this data affects price. Appreciate you guys rocking with the Unique Trading Group on this episode 10 of Monday Madness. All right. So what do we have tomorrow? All right, in the morning we have we don't have any red star photo news during market open, but we do have some rates happening while we're sleeping, you know, if you're not an all-nighter, all right? And we have a couple of more data points coming out, but no red star photo news. So Tuesday could be an interesting day. Wednesday, we do have FOMC meetings, the FOMC meeting minutes, all right? This is when the Feds and Jerome Powell are going to be making a decision on the interest rates, all right, dealing with inflation. This is going to be a very, very key moment. July 9th, mark your calendars. July 9th, Wednesday, very, very key, important moment, all right? So you want to be informed about this data all week, all right? So we're going to be prepared, don't worry, all right? Wednesday is going to be coming up. Make sure to check out that halftime show on Wednesday, all right? But today is Monday Madness, so I'm preparing you, letting you know what to expect, all right? And these data points, all right, throughout the week could affect price in a good or bad way, but don't worry, you're rocking with Coach UV. Now, back here on SPY. Now, I want you to take this walk with me. Think about this. What if I told you that the market just flashed one of the rarest bullish signals we've seen in months, and nobody's talking about it? All right. While the headlines scream fear, smart money moved, you know, and I've already mentioned that the smart money has already moved. They're already positioning. Okay. They're already positioning. All right. So I saw it. We saw it together live before the move. Correct. You remember that, right? So I want you to think about something called the trend, all right? The trend is a market breadth signal, all right? It's below 0.7, all right? SPY's holding its trend. The VIX stand tamed, right? The breadth accelerating, all right? That's not noise. That's a buy-side footprint. This is what institutions do before the retail even blinks, and this is why we're different. This is Coach UV, the Unique Trading Group, and we called it first, okay? We definitely called this move first, all right? Before the 4th of July fireworks, we got it early, all right? And so we're ahead of the move. We're not chasing. We are ahead of the move, okay? Now we're preparing for what we know could happen, all right? So zoom out. Zoom out. SPY is still riding on higher lows even while we took a breath today, all right? The market breath just widened. More stocks participating, all right? The trend closing under 0.7 tells us that buying demand is dominating. At the same time, the VIX didn't explode. That means fear did not drive this sell-off. It's just the clean setup for strength, all right? You understand that? That don't mean that's fear, all right? All right, it's a clean setup with strength, okay? So you rarely get red days with positive internals and low fear, and that's what I'm trying to let you guys know. You rarely get this type of signal, okay? And this is your first time hearing it, it's all right, but you rarely get this type of signal, all right? It's a hidden signal. Most traders miss it because they're glued to price and not flow, all right? Risk to reward, being intuitive. If you haven't, check out a audio book on YouTube by Mark Douglas called The Disciplined Trader and/or Trading in the Zone. And while you're at it, put my book as well on your radar. That's right, Coach UV. I published a book last year. It's titled The Power of Paytience. Subtitle is Mastering Emotions and Trading While Turning Discipline into Income. You should check out that link below as well and get familiar with why most people call it a really, really good book for beginners. All right. Now back to the commentary, because this is very essential for you to understand that we are waiting for the flow. We're ahead of the move. We're not glued to price. All right. This exact setup triggered before the AI run, before the March rally, and now again. And now it's time, but we are going to be positioned. All right. So let's talk trades. All right. Now we had a run. All right. We got into a run. Remember that stock we talked about? All right. Just posted a video for you guys in the community explaining that we got into this. So we're in run. All right. So as this is running, all right, it wasn't a guess. Think about that. It was not a guess. All right. It was a system trigger. We knew that Trump had a bill coming out. It got passed, and we knew what tickers to go for. All right. We knew what tickers to go for, and it is producing. All right. It is producing. That's what you have in front of you. All right. The same with ticker symbol Wolf. All right. I posted some trades inside of the Discord about Wolf, and I'll show you guys that in the next video. Once you get a sneak peek look inside of the Discord where we get 100% gainers, okay? 100% gainers. Wolf was a 100% gainer. I'll show you right in front of your face while we're talking about it, all right? Today, Wolf went up 100 and something percent, okay? And it's even up more after hours, all right? So these are the type of trades that you get rocking with the Unique Trading Group, all right? Now, Wolf and Run were those two stocks that benefited from this Trump bill. Wolf has something to do with the CHIP Act, all right? The CHIP Act, all right? And they have a structural reversal. These moves are happening because we read the map before the market reacted, all right? So everyone is panicking about Trump tariffs, all right? The macro tension, Jerome Powell, but the VIX isn't, all right? Flow says they're not hedging, they're rotating, all right? That's institutional money reloading, not retreating. Okay, so this is what we do. We trade signals, not headlines. We trust the system, sharpen our mindset, and we move with precision. Okay, let me say that again. What we're going to do is we're going to trade the signals, not the headlines. Trust the system that we come up with, right? Sharpen our mindset and move with precision. All right. If you want calls after the move, then you follow anyone. If you want strategy, discipline, and edge before the move, welcome to the Unique Trading Group. Welcome to the Matrix, all right? So subscribe to get live signals and setups, all right? All right? Drop run in the comments if you caught that play inside of the Discord, all right? Do me a favor. Now, to end this video, because I've been enjoying this video talking with you guys so far, what I'm looking for the SPY is for that data to come out, okay? I'm looking for high lows to continue to be bought. If we don't get that, I will switch my bias towards the downside to retrace to go maybe back towards 600. But right now we don't have that. Could we get that? Yes, we could. But keep in mind that we have earnings. We do have earnings, all right? Earnings is coming up. And so it's going to be a very, very, very big catalyst for the market, all right? So as long as SPY holds above 617, which are your previous week's close and your previous day closes, all right, I want to buy that dip as long as we are having higher time confluence. You understand? I appreciate you guys watching this episode of Monday Madness, episode 10. You're rocking with your boy Coach UV with the Unique Trading Group, where strategy meets mindset and discipline turns into income. And if you found this video at all valuable, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Share this video with anyone you think it'll be helpful to. All right. Hope you guys stay blessed out there. Be safe, man, and be prepared. All right. Let's get this money. Let's do it in a responsible way. All right. Till the next time. Peace.